I'm always honored to be in the presence of warriors. They stand on a history of those who have served before them. As we gather here today on the shores of Lake Lanier, history is ringing. They're known as the quiet professionals. They're the elite of the United States military. And believe me, they have no equal in this world. Their mottos inspire a nation and me to free the oppressed, ready to lead, ready to follow, never quit. First there, that others may live. Rangers lead the way, always faithful, always forward.
Welcome this morning. This is always a humbling event here. It really kind of brings things to home after a very special weekend. And there's no real good time to thank everybody that was involved with this past week, this special weekend, and this morning. You know, beginning with Bill Stevens and his team, John and his team, you know, the color guard, the band. And so if you would just please join me in a round of appreciation for them putting this on, making this possible. I say for those that aren't familiar with what Operation One Voice is about, it's an organization really done by volunteers who decided that they wanted to give something back to the Special Operations community because that community has given so much to this country. It's an organization that helps remind us of the sacrifice that the families and the operators go through. Operation One Voice really brings that together at these events to help remind us of that sacrifice and what we can do as a community, as a family, as a country to help give it back to them for those who have given so much. I made the commitment to provide whatever support we could to Bill Stevens and Operation One Voice because it's important that we keep what I call that magic alive and what they provide for these families coming to these events, bringing everybody together as a family.
Seeing the leadership of the Special Operation Forces community is inspiring. To see how much they care for their men and the families that are represented is breathtaking. And Major General Clark is a great example of who they are. He will strip off all the regalia that he has, and he will run with his men, and he will bike with his men, and he will crawl through the mud with his men. And he listens to the stories of the families, and he tears up when he hears them. It's inspiring to see how much they care for their men and the service that they provide this nation.
I would say the most touching experience would be when I met General Clark for the first time. It was the memorial service for the first year. When I saw him speak and I saw him get, teary-eyed and everything, it moved me, and I started to really grasp how serious it was that these men fought for the freedom, not only for me, but for my children.
When you see the community come out like this and just show their support for the military members that are either with us or not, or deployed, it makes it seem a little bit more worthwhile.
After the service, I went up and gave him a hug, and I just started bawling. I just told him, thank you for my freedoms and thank you for protecting my children. It was more than just, yeah, these guys fight for our freedom, but I really felt that these guys really defend me, and they defend not only me, but my children.
The members and the families of the Special Operations community are some of the greatest, most honorable, humble servants that this nation has ever seen. But the quality of the human being is outstanding and it's breathtaking. And that's what draws me in, because they go through a lot of tough times. This is where Operation One Voice has a unique privilege in serving the families of the wounded and fallen Special Operations Forces, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. Operation One Voice does this through a number of programs that meet their needs, such as immediate and emergency support for the families, rental car reimbursement, rehabilitation bike program, and multiple other programs that directly impact and support the families.
We received the phone call my husband was injured. We had a couple days. We kind of packed everything up and we went to San Antonio, where Brooks Army Medical Center was, at the burn center. You kind of show up with nothing, and you don't really know what to do because your focus really is on your husband or spouse or whatever. They got us a rental vehicle so that we had nothing to worry about. We were able to, because we had a lot of family that came into town when my husband was injured. So we couldn't just have like a regular rental car. We got a minivan. Kind of takes the pressure off of the families. You know, you don't have to think about how you're going to pay for that rental vehicle. It's just taken care of, and you can focus on what you're there for. That's to be there for your spouse. So that's what they've done.
The all-volunteer staff of Operation One Voice has a phenomenal working relationship with the U.S. SOCOM Care Coalition. This allows you to confidently support and partner with O1V, as over 97 cents of every dollar goes directly to supporting the families.
It's just been one of those organizations where you know their heart's in the right place. When they help, they just do it because they want to, and there's not a whole lot of questions asked. They're having us out here to enjoy the weekend and have a good time and relax and take a break, you know. And for me, in my case, it's to kind of recharge my batteries, refresh, and get back to going back to take care of my husband. Things like this are amazing, and they want us to enjoy our time here, and they want the kids to have a good time, and, you know, it's great.
Operation One Voice supports the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who are the very tip of the spear in our nation's defense. It is a foundation designed by police officers and firefighters and is dedicated to raising funds and awareness for the financial needs of the children and families of wounded and fallen Special Operations Forces. Guided by the overriding mission to never forget those who have served, those who have sacrificed, and those who have paid the ultimate price for freedom. Freedom is not free. The cost is high. And the need to support them will be ever present long after news coverage of their service has disappeared from the headlines.
We're going to have military members, certainly Special Operations Forces, deployed for a long time. And when you no longer see things about Afghanistan, things like that, I just ask people to remember that you're still going to have Special Operations, you're still going to have our military out there deployed on any given day, a lot of times in harm's way, and you're never going to know about it. And so I ask for them to just remember that. Remember the effect it has on a military member and the effect that it has on their families. And to also remember that the injured that we see today are going to still be the injured 10 years from now, 20 years from now, because they're going to still carry those scars and those wounds, and so is their family. And so I ask them to always remember and never forget, and that we ask for the continued support, because they're going to need it, and they certainly appreciate it, and so do I. Thank you.